Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. It's Krista from Hebertstown Home. If you are new here, welcome. If you are old here, that sounds horrible. If you have been here before, welcome back. So I was not gonna do this. Like just yesterday, I was like, not taking them out in my garden. But I had a thought, and our garden is a lot like our faith, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. So I'm gonna give you a garden tour. We're gonna talk a little bit about faith. Hopefully I can articulate what I want to articulate. No hair done, just got up this morning. The roosters are crowing, the kids are still eating breakfast, but I thought I'd sneak out here and try to film a quick video. First though, I want to introduce you to a new animal on our farm. So this, my friends, is Finnegan. He is our new livestock guardian dog. Well, not yet. So Mr. Finn is 3/4 Great Pyrenees, 1/4 Lab, and all puppy. He's gonna live over in our barnyard, like between our chicken coop and our barn. We're gonna fence that all in, and he's gonna live in there with the animals and have a good life. He has a good start with chickens and some other animals with his parents, and we just got him a few days ago. So he is a puppy for sure, and we have a lot of work ahead of us. Like I was starting to say, I was not going to show you the garden because in July, does this happen to any of the rest of you? In July, I always lose interest. Spring, I'm motivated. I'm ready to go. I want to work in the garden. I'm ready to plant. It's exciting. Then you get it all into the ground and it starts to grow, and it's beautiful and it's exciting. I think I said that already. It's exciting. It's exciting in the spring. Then somehow in July, things start to get overgrown. Things start to dry, and so you have to work a little harder at keeping things watered maybe. It gets hot, but also there's just a lot of produce and a lot still happening. And so why I lose interest, I don't know, but this happens every year. Sometimes I just let it die off, honestly. All that hard work, I just let it go to waste. It kind of reminded me of my faith and of some of the struggles sometimes that we have with our faith, and how there are seasons where things are beautiful and things are easy. Some seasons we're being attacked by the enemy, and we need to be prepared for that and always doing our best. But sometimes things will die, sometimes things will change, sometimes things will surprise us, and we will go through lots of seasons and lots of change in our faith, just like in our garden. So as I'm out here, and this is like in the spring, this is my happy, happy place. Right now, it's not. And I feel like sometimes our faith can be that way too, or our churches, you know, that there are seasons when it's more difficult, when it's harder to push through, when you just want to let the whole thing die off, right? And be done with it for a while, just get a break. But that's not how it works. If we push through, there's a beautiful harvest and there's abundance. And so I just wanted to share that with you today. All right, so when you first walk in my garden gate that Monty made me, I have mint along with some flowers growing. This was my beets, and I'm going to grow beets here again, and that was lettuce and spinach, and it will be lettuce and spinach again in the fall now, once things cool down. The spinach and the lettuce bolted, and that was sort of the end of that. My dad calls this the pie section of the garden. So I've got 3 strawberry beds. I've got 2 blueberries growing, blueberry plants, which will be years before, and they are like tiny, and they haven't grown much this whole season. So, and then I have this beautiful rhubarb right here. So the pie section of the garden. It's our favorite section, and it's not producing much yet, but we snitch a strawberry here and there. Okay, so, and then I do have these asparagus beds right here that are also brand new. So it'll be a few years on those. It'll be a few years on the rhubarb as well. Right now I'm getting rhubarb from Azure Standard. I think I showed that in my Azure haul, that I'm going to do some strawberry rhubarb jelly That is not from my strawberries or my rhubarb, but it will be. It will be eventually. Okay, and then we put up some trellises, and I have 3 rows of trellises. I think these are like 8-foot trellises, if I remember right. And I have tomatoes in here. I have quite a few, like it's kind of like a Roma tomato for sauces. I don't remember what they are. I have some cherry tomatoes, and I have some like cutting, just eating tomatoes. Behind those are green beans. We'll see what they do. This is where I have, these are the pickling cucumbers, and they grew really well. Although I have been so far behind, we're getting cucumbers like crazy, and I'm not canning anything or doing anything with them yet. I need to get some grape leaves and some dill to do a little bit of refrigerator pickles at the very least. And then these are just the eating type of cucumbers. I think you can pickle these too, I'm not sure. Only one plant like survived. I don't know what happened. I had 3 beautiful plants here, only one survived, but it is taking over, so that's okay. So here are my zucchini plants. This is the truth of the garden. I got zucchini after zucchini after zucchini, and then you can see these squash bugs have just taken over, and I have given up. But I have my spares back in the back, so I'm gonna be okay. So I'm gonna turn around. And this, my friends, is my potato patch. There are potatoes under there. We've been digging them up. But, I don't know if you can see that, but it's very overgrown, full of weeds. There's these seasons of abundance, and there's seasons of drought, and there's seasons of difficulty with our faith. And we have to be prepared. So, you know, like in the garden, putting the cardboard down and the hay, that's preparing, because we know the weeds are going to come. We know the hard stuff's going to come, and we want to make it easier, but we can't always prepare for everything. The horses behind me are talking a little bit. They're excited that I'm out in the garden, hoping I'm going to throw them some good stuff. Sometimes I cut some mint and throw it. They love that. Or certain weeds they enjoy too. So, and that was another thing that I was kind of thinking about. I came out here yesterday with the kids, and I was kind of discouraged, and I said, let's just take 30 minutes and really work at weeding. So we did. We worked really hard at weeding, and we had a pretty massive pile of weeds. And you think, what are these all for? Like, there's nothing good coming out of these weeds, but we took them to the chickens and fed them to the chickens, and all day they scratched and pecked through them and ate what they wanted to out of them. And so even those weeds were useful, right? Even that hard stuff is so useful at refining us, and God uses it for good. So I thought, you know, those weeds that I shouldn't have let grow, I let them grow, and now they fed our chickens. You'll see in the back that there is a screen. It's supposed to be like a shade or a wind screen, but it doesn't shade the garden because of the way that we have it on there. And one of the things about living in the country and beside fields and where farmers plant is they also spray. And so by nothing that we did, it could kill the whole garden in one spray, one overspray where the wind is blowing the wrong way that day. And I would like to hope that they would be careful, but I know that it happens all the time. And so I put that up as kind of one defense. I don't want overspray onto my garden of chemicals. And so I put that up, and some of it is like totally like Roundup type of stuff that will just kill everything, or for sure kill certain plants. And I don't want to eat those plants. I don't want my plants to die. I've worked really, really hard. And so one thing we did was put up the windscreen. We also talked to the neighbor, and we were told that we would be warned before they sprayed. But if we're not home and they text and say we're gonna spray, they're still gonna spray. So we put up the windscreen hoping that that would maybe protect some things. Okay, so these are one of my secret gardens. Anybody know what these are? I was told that sweet potatoes are beautiful, and this needs a little bit of weeding, but sweet potatoes are beautiful. So I put them in these little rail car things that were out here when we moved in, and the soil's good in there already. I added a little bit more soil to them, mulched them, and we are gonna have sweet potatoes out of these little train cars. So I didn't know where to put them in the garden. If you guys can hear that, that's Finnegan howling because all the kids left him and I left him. So he's very sad at the moment. I'll go get him in a minute, don't worry. Just like in our faith, we get these surprises. That's where I go back to the gratitude journal, like looking for those blessings and those surprises, and focusing on those helps me to get through those tougher seasons. So when I look at that rough garden right now with all the weeds, I look at my carts with the sweet potatoes in them and I think, oh, success. They're there, and there's some good stuff underneath that's gonna be able to be harvested for our family. I think I have 2 or 3 plants in each one, and I have 4 of these train cars, so we should get some sweet potatoes out of them. It's just fun. This is the garden, and what I showed you, I guess, out back, also the sweet potatoes in the carts and the zucchini in the bags. That's my spares, and also, yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's the garden this year. I love you, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching.